Many of us aspire to get the newest car at some point in our life. Whether it's the newest BMW or Lamborghini, we want a car that was never used. But we all know that buying a new car comes with a massive cost. However, I'm happy to let you know that buying a new car isn't as expensive anymore. Why? Because nowadays most cars depreciate like hell, around 20 to 30% in the first year. And that is exactly what today's topic is about. The most depreciating cars of 2024. I know. Depreciation isn't exactly the flashiest topic, but it's one that will help you save a lot of money. So whether you're looking to buy, sell, or you're just a legend watching the video for interest's sake, stick around because there are definitely some models that will surprise you. With that said, fasten your seatbelt and let's dive into the video. Starting off with my favorite, the luxury sedans. Luxury cars are all about comfort and features, making you feel like you're driving on clouds, like you're sitting in a private jet. But there is a catch. They depreciate very quickly. Faster than most cars on the market actually. Take the 7 Series BMW. It's a beautiful car, it has amazing tech, a smooth ride, and it's used by some top CEOs as their personal chauffeur vehicle. But in just 3 years, it can lose up to 50% of its value. So if you bought a brand new 7 Series in 2021, that would have put you back around 120,000 euros. If you're to buy the same exact model now, it's worth around 60,000 euros. So half price. And you might be asking yourself why? Why does the 7 Series depreciate that much? Well, it's not just the 7 Series, but it is mostly due to the high maintenance costs that come with luxury cars. You see, luxury cars, as you know, are expensive to repair and maintain. That isn't a problem when you're under warranty. But as soon as the warranty runs out, the costs for repair are up to the owner. Another example is the Mercedes S-Class. This car depreciates similarly, around 34% in the first 3 years. And while it's a fantastic car to drive and to be driven in, the high-end features that attract customers when the car is new makes them less appealing as a used car. Especially for Mercedes, which has a lot of tech and comes out with new technology every year. After a few years, the technology just becomes outdated. But if you're a fan of luxury, buying used might be the best way to go. Whoa, I know you want to see what other cars you can buy for a big discount, but have you subscribed to the channel? Subscribe now so you can continue watching the video. You subscribed? Alright then, let's keep it moving. Remember those articles on the news talking about how electric vehicles are going to take over? Well, they're not. We discussed this in another video if you want to check that one out. So, EVs are actually depreciating in value way quicker. Some of the biggest depreciations in 2024 are actually EVs like the Nissan Leaf and the Chevy Bolt. And there are two reasons why this is happening: the technology and the range. Since there's no engine, the only other department that EV manufacturers can develop in is technology. And while bringing out new tech every year doesn't sound like a bad thing, definitely affects the price of the vehicle. Just like the S-Class, older models feel outdated only after a couple of years. The tech 2 years ago simply isn't as good as the one from this year. Shorter ranges and slower charging times. Those are EV's essentials. Take the Nissan Leaf as an example. The 2019 model has a range of 240 kilometers, while the newer model can go 300 kilometers or more. And not to mention the concern about battery degradation. Just like the phone's battery, the battery in an EV loses capacity over time, which limits the car's range and usefulness. So buying an old EV is not a great decision. However, they're far cheaper than newer models, so the choice is really up to you. Next up, let's take a look at the SUV and crossover department. More and more people have started to take an interest in SUVs. And I mean, who wouldn't? They're roomy, comfortable, and versatile. You also feel like you own the road when driving one. You can see everything, and the feeling you get when you're towering over a BMW at a red light is unmatched. But unfortunately, popularity does not guarantee the car will hold its value. Models like the Ford Explorer or the Toyota RAV4 have some of the highest depreciating rates on the market. SUVs are everywhere, which make it harder for models to retain their value over time. There's simply too much competition, so the prices drop really fast. And for the likes of the Explorer, age doesn't help either. It is known that over time, the Ford Explorer gets more and more expensive to repair and maintain. Things like the transmission and the electronics fail a lot of the times. Getting them repaired isn't exactly cheap. Not to mention that the Explorer loses around 40% of its value after just 3 years. The RAV4 performs similarly in the depreciation department. It loses around 30 to 35% after 3 years. Now, far better than the Explorer due to the reliability, but that's where the other issue comes in: overcrowding. RAV4s are everywhere, and even though demand is high, drivers have a lot of choice. So if you're in the market for an SUV, buying an older model can save you thousands of euros, and you have a lot of options to choose from, as I said. Just don't buy the Ford Explorer. And for the last entry, let's shift gears into sports cars. Although they're fast, stylish, and built for enthusiasts, they unfortunately lose value a bit too fast. Cars like the M8 and the Porsche Panamera have incredible power and driving dynamics, yet they don't hold their value quite as well as you think. The Porsche is especially interesting. It's a luxury sports sedan that brings together Porsche's racing heritage and high-end comfort. Here is the catch: it can lose up to 50% in the first 5 years. Considering Porsche's reputation for holding value, this one is definitely surprising. And that is mostly due to the high cost that comes with this great combination of racing and luxury. Additionally, the luxury sports sedans have a niche market, and there's often more sellers than buyers when it comes to the used market, therefore pushing the prices further down, plummeting them. The M8 isn't that much different either. With its powerful V8, luxurious interior, and aggressive styling, BMW's M division would make you think that all the power and performance must 100% hold its value over time, a great investment. Unfortunately, that isn't the case. The M8 depreciates rapidly with a drop of about 50% within the first 5 years. And once again, this is due to the high running costs. High performance and cutting edge tech come with expensive upkeep. And not to mention, the car has some stiff competition in the used market from other car brands. And the only option that's left is to drop the price in order to attract buyers. But for people like me that don't have the money to buy a new M8, this is just music to my ears. So what does this mean for buyers and sellers? Well, if you're buying a new car, knowing the depreciation rate of the car can help you decide how long you are going to keep the car so it doesn't lose all of its value. Cars that hold their value well will definitely be worth the investment. And if you're selling, knowing the depreciation rates can help you set a fair asking price and avoid taking a massive loss when selling the vehicle. As I said at the start, depreciation isn't one of the most exciting topics, but it's something that everyone should consider, especially if you're looking to buy a more expensive car. Whether you're looking at luxury, SUVs, or EVs, there's a lot to think about. Unless you're rich, of course. But if you're not a trust fund kid, buying used is a great way to avoid that initial hit. With that said, thank you very much for watching. Let us know in the comments below what other cars should have made the list. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep the pedal down and floor it.